You best believe we are live. Current time is 5:21 p.m. The first severe thunderstorm warning of 2026 has been issued from NWS in Grand Rapids. It's going to be for the southern half of Ingham County. There is currently a cell over the town of Mason, and that is going to be producing quarter-sized hail. This is confirmed from us, from our viewers, from our spotters. We have confirmed hail that is at least nickel to quarter size in diameter. And as a refresher, your severe hail threshold is going to be that quarter size, 1 inch or greater. So we are meeting that criteria in this storm, and also these storms off to the east, over here just south of Owasso and near Fowlerville. These also have a history of producing severe hail as well. So these storms, all three of these really need to be taken seriously. Aside from the hail, frequent lightning as well as heavy downpours are occurring. A new statement coming in. Joel, if you can get that as well on the page, that'd be great. But a new statement coming in now as well. Let's go ahead and pull this up. It's going to be for Shiawassee and Livingston County, as well as parts of Genesee County. This is going to be for hail up to about a ½ inch in diameter and winds up to 40 miles per hour. But anyway, going back down here to the severe cell of the first of 2026, current trajectory is over the town of Mason, just to the east of Mason, actually. It's heading into Dansville here. It should cross between Dansville and Williamston. It's going to hit Weberville and Fowlerville head on here, or skimp just to the south here. We do have a camera in Howell, actually. I have it pulled up. This storm is actually heading that direction, and if I can pull this up here, there we go. There's our camera facing to the west in Howell here, courtesy of the city of Howell. So I'll watch this roll in over the next couple of minutes here as the storm gets closer to the camera. But in the meantime, back to the radar, the heaviest of the hail core here is falling just to the east of the town of Mason. If I back this up just a bit, and I go ahead and animate this, we're going to notice the movement on this is to the east and a little bit northeast. So watch it explode here over Ingham County. Cell pops up, gets statemented, new warning. So it's mostly moving to the east, a little bit north of a drag there as well. So areas like Dansville, Fowlerville, Genoa, Howell as well. 96 from Williamston, Weberville, Fowlerville, as well as Dansville should be alert here. Areas close but should be safe are Pinckney, Stockbridge, Brighton. I don't want to put Brighton in the clear just yet. It should be just skipping to your north here, unless this cell kind of switches direction. But overall, this should be heading more so toward Fowlerville here in the next couple of minutes. Now, outside of this cell, we do have two other cells off to the east and north. Both of these could be producing some decent sized hail as well. This one's located just south of 69, south of Bennington, and the other one is located just to the north of Fowlerville. So we have a lot going on here. It's February, and this was somewhat expected. However, the severe side of things was not expected. We expected things to kind of pop off this evening further east with some thunderstorms and stuff like that, but nothing that we anticipated to be severe. The environment, though, there's just enough instability out there to warrant mention of a stronger storm, but the hail is definitely due to some drier air aloft, I have to imagine. Joel, if you want to chime in with that, feel free.
Yeah, so I have to get going here in a couple of minutes, so you can't see my face right now. But the atmosphere right now is, as Ryan mentioned, very unstable. We were lacking a moisture component, and it found just enough moisture in the Lansing area to pop off these storms at the low levels, tap into that dryer in the upper levels to accumulate hail. And on top of that, this storm, Ryan, these three storms here are riding the triple point. So it's right where the cold front and the warm front are coming together. And so for those who don't know, we need fronts as a source of lift to force storms up into the atmosphere. And we do have two sources of that, with a cold front and a warm front meeting right in Lansing. And so these cells will continue off to the east at a relatively good clip here as they head towards Metro Detroit, eventually Livingston, Oakland County, and even into perhaps the Flint region.
Yep. So current time is 5:25. We are live here. This severe warning in effect for Ingham County for severe hail up to a quarter size in diameter. The text of the warning says it is in effect until 6 p.m., so another about a half hour or so. The hazard is quarter size hail. The source is radar indicated, and the impact is damage to vehicles is expected. The Howell cam is getting more and more impressive the closer the storm gets to it. We'll keep a close eye on this. Lightning is starting to pick up on this camera as well. And what a view. If you guys have tuning in for the first time since last year, we have just under 100 cameras in the state of Michigan now, and we are excited to use these this storm season, and we're using them right now, actually. We have a lot coverage here in the state of Michigan with all these cameras, so we have views. Even if our chasers aren't there, our cameras can be there, so it's going to be a really good tool for us to use and track these storms this year. And we're getting a first-hand look here with this cell. So we'll keep a close eye on that as it gets closer. Howell is still a few miles out ahead of these storms, so it's not too terribly close just yet. But if you are in the Howell area, you need to be taking shelter inside in a sturdy structure, because there is thunder, there is lightning out there as well. Lightning is just as dangerous with severe storms, so be mindful of that. Head indoors if you are outside, and just hunker down inside and away from windows as the storm passes through your area. Currently, this severe cell is moving into Dansville right now. The heaviest core is between Mason and Dansville on M36, heading toward Vantown, Millville, and Parker's Corners. And it should brush the south side of Fowlerville and Weberville as this travels just south and perhaps along I-96. Backing this up here as well, another cell is looking to be intensifying here over just north, actually, of Fowlerville. This is heading to the east-northeast toward Argentine, Tyrone Township, and US 23, Fenton as well. We have cameras in Fenton courtesy of CTEC. Let's go ahead and pull that up, actually, and get a view. Now, here's the crazy thing here. Back this up. We're not too far away from the Fenton area, and check out what's the difference here. This is our CTEC camera in Fenton. It is foggy, it is cloudy, it's a completely different atmosphere up there than it is further south here in the town of Howell. So very crazy the difference is between a couple of miles. It really is. Back to the radar here. This severe warning in effect until 6 p.m. We'll be live until it is expired or the threat is over. You guys know how we roll here at MSC. We are live until the threat is over. Our motto here, beginning to end, and the end is not over until the storm is over. So I kind of lost my train of thought there, but we'll roll with it. I got Crystal in chat saying rumbling in Howell. Yes, indeed. How is Flint looking? So Flint is out ahead of this just a bit. This northern cell may brush Flint, so you could get some thunder and some lightning, some brief heavy rain as well. But the core of this storm should miss you just to the south if I had to guess. Go ahead and animate this for you, get a good idea on the track. It is expanding to the north here, so you could get some decent rain with it, but I think the core is going to go just to your south. I'm in Danville. Lots of thunder and just started sprinkling. Thank you, Ashley, for that report.
Ryan, would you like me to publish that hail video on the page right now?
Yes, please.
Okay, I will go ahead and do that.
Thank you very much. As Joel does that, we'll go ahead and take a peek here and just kind of leave it on the Howell camera here. I'm watching chat, so you guys got questions, feel free to chime in. Luckily, we only have one severe storm here in the state, so it's not a huge widespread threat. This should not be long-lived either, I can't imagine. We'll have to see what they do here downstream for this storm as it moves into the Detroit coverage area, because we do have a NWS Grand Rapids and Detroit. Their jurisdiction switches here at the county line. So we'll have to see what Detroit does for this cell. And if they do issue another warning, it would be in effect for Livingston County if they do continue that. Right now, there is a statement in effect for this storm. There's some good lightning there, center of your screen. Again, this is facing west in the city of Howell, and it's courtesy of the city of Howell as well. So appreciate them sponsoring this camera for us, giving us a great view. Let's go ahead and check out a couple other things here on our radar product. We do have the reflectivity, obviously. That shows us the hail cores, heavy rain, and lightning and stuff like that. Looking at the wind velocity, we don't really see anything sticking out to us besides the hail cores themselves. So nothing really, jumps out at me and says, hey, this could be producing gusty winds as well. I don't see that with this storm, although we are still about 3,000 to 4,000 feet off the ground here, so the radar is not seeing everything. But right now, the atmosphere today, I wouldn't say is really supportive of severe hail. It's more so supportive of severe wind, should I say. It is more so supportive of severe hail. Looking at the hail tracker on this, we do see a couple distinct areas here. One just north of Fowlerville, and also one heading into Dansville here. This is also just a few minutes old, so you got to kind of adjust it, kind of push it to the east just a bit. So we do have some hail core showing up here. The strongest looks to be in this Fowlerville cell. I'll have to keep a close eye on that for the next scan to see what that ends up doing. But overall, these storms are moving to the east-northeast at about 30 to 40 miles per hour. We'll be tracking these as long as they are strong to severe.
Ryan, one last comment before I head out here. This is a good reminder for everyone that does live in Michigan. If you're new here, never count out a 1% day. We see this all the time in Michigan. You can have one rogue storm that does exceed expectations and does produce that 1% chance of severe hail. So we'll see that probably more times this summer in the state of Michigan. Again, continue to watch these storms as they move off to the east. In fact, as you continue to head off to the east, there will be more moisture available because it's been foggy out there today. And so I would imagine these storms are going to continue at least into the Oakland County, Lapeer County, and eventually Lapeer County areas throughout the rest of the evening. And there's a new severe.
There it is. So new severe warning in effect here for Livingston County. In effect until 6:30, and you can see the hazard on the right side of that alert saying quarter-size hail is your primary hazard. Joel, can you get the graphic for that, or do you want me to?
Yep, on it.
Thank you very much. So new warning in effect here as Detroit has opted to issue or so continue this warning into their jurisdiction of Livingston County. So the text of this warning is going to pop this on the screen for you guys. No wind with this. It just says a quarter-size hail is your threat. The impact is damage to vehicles. And as I said previously, in effect until 6:30 p.m. Eastern time here in Livingston County. So zooming back out here, it is almost the entirety of Livingston. It does not include the very far southern area like Pinckney and Hamburg Township. Those areas are not in this warning. Anywhere else in Livingston County, you currently are within that severe warning. And again, just tuning in, it is a hail threat with this storm. There really is not a risk today for anything tornadic or wind-wise. So it should just be primarily hail. If you guys do have hail reports, feel free to hop over. There's two ways you can report it, really three ways. First way, in the comment section on our post on our page, not the live stream. We cannot see pictures on this live stream. So please find a different post and drop a comment or a video or a picture on one of our posts. Second way, we have a group called Michigan Weather Reports. It is a Facebook group. You can go ahead and join and make your own posts. We can go look at those and approve them and decline them as we see fit. And the third way, you can send us a message directly on Facebook with any videos of hail.
Okay, graphic is up, Ryan. I got to go.
Thank you, Joel.
You bet.
Looking at the other radar I have pulled up here, I don't share it, but it's more advanced. The radar is indicating the storm just to the north here of 96, just to the northeast of Fowlerville, has a hail marker of 1.07 inches. So the radar is indicating that the hail could be a little bit larger than severe size. Back at the camera here in Howell, facing to the west, we do see that storm continuing to roll in. We're going to leave it on here just for the time being and watch this roll in as it does so. This secondary storm, the first storm is going to go just to the north, so to the right of the screen. And that second storm is still a good ways away, so we're not going to get that immediately here. I have to wait a couple more minutes. But Howell looks to be in a direct line of impact for that cell moving in about 5 to 10 minutes. So if you're in Howell, as well as Tyrone Township, Osceola Township, Heartland Township, Brighton, or Brighton Township, now is the time to head indoors and get away from windows. Again, this is a hail threat. This is not a wind or anything tornadic related. So your precautions for this will be head inside, away from windows, and that's about it. There's no need to head to your basement per se. Not a bad idea, but there's really no threat for anything wind or tornado related. So it should just be hail, and with hail, you want to stay away from windows just in case a large stone comes flying through your window, which hopefully doesn't happen, but that's your precaution just in case. We are tracking these, we're going to call it a cluster. It's a cluster of cells here, all the way up toward the Swartz Creek, Flint area. down in toward Fowlerville, back here toward Dansville. It's a nice overall solid localized cluster, and that's about it. There's nothing else happening in the lower part of Michigan here. Taking a peek at the radar. There we go. As you can see, there's really not much going on. We have a couple cells over here in the polygons, and outside of that, there's nothing else going on the west side. Further north, we do have winter weather advisories, winter storm warnings continuing. Freezing drizzle, as well as some snow showers, continue for northern lower Michigan, as most of the UP as well throughout the evening. It will change over to snow the later on we get as temperatures drop. But otherwise, this is the only active concern here in the state with these storms. Again, if you're just tuning in, I am Ryan, and we are live once again. This is the first time for severe coverage in 2026. And as you guys may well already know, we have not missed a warning in the state in our existence. So we are hoping to keep that streak alive this year. We plan to, and we're not going to skip a beat here. Even though it's February, it does not really matter. We are here 24/7, 365. Taking a peek at the latest radar here from Detroit. I switched radar, so a bit better of a look. We can definitely tell this hail core on the cell that is over Oak Grove, Deerfield Center, and Deer Creek, just south of Cohocton, is producing some very large hail. Aside from that hail core, there's a lot of lightning with this as well. And also expect there to be a lot of heavy downpour. So localized flooding of roadways that aren't drained properly, or if there's still some remnant snow blocking some storm drains, you're going to get some localized ponding and flooding on those city and urban street areas. Further south as well, this storm just exited Dansville. So Dansville, you should be all clear here shortly. It's going to be loud there for a few more minutes as the thunder and lightning continues to push and roll eastward. But in the meantime, that looks like the main concern here for hail in two places. Moving into Livingston County shortly, just south of Weberville, M52, M36 interchange there. Up toward the just south of Cohocton region as well, over Oak Grove. A couple roads that are impacted. Looks like Oak Grove Road. That's kind of ironic. Also, we have Chase Lake Road. That's going to be around the center of that hail core, according to the radar. These storms, they should not be severe long. They do have a bit better of an environment, as Joel mentioned, out ahead of them. So these could last just a little bit longer. But overall, the threat today should be very short-lived and very brief in nature overall. Ray in chat saying thunder in Tyrone Township. Thank you for that. Thunder now in Brighton, says Suzanne. Thank you, Julie, for that super chat. Says smash the like button and share button for our first severe stream of 2026. Thank you, Julie, for your support. Also, I saw a couple other super chats come in as well. When we're live like this, it depends on how active we are, but I'm working solo tonight. So I'm not going to have time. If I see something, I'll catch it, but I'm not going to have time to hone in on chat all the time. So if you guys do send super chats or become members, I appreciate your guys' support. I will catch them as I see them, but I can't promise I will catch them. Well, there's another one here from Shane. Thank you, Shane. Interesting thing to note, this is the only severe thunderstorm in the entire country currently. That is awesome, Shane. Michigan on the board. A little bit early. I think 2024, we saw our first severe storm on the 28th of the month. We're 10 days early. Okay, back into the radar here. We're also going to take a peek here at the camera in Howell just a second. I want to pop the hail tracker on. There you go. Your hail tracker has really grown just to the south of Cohocton. That is indicating some fairly large hail falling there. Get my pen to pop on the screen there. There we go. Let's drag that up here. Go ahead and lock that in place. Your pen is right. We'll make it black, because why not? There we go. There we go. Now we're rolling. It's going to be moving off to the east, northeast here toward Tyrone Township, Fenton, Holly, Springfield Township, Highland, Heartland Township. You guys are not out of the woods. There's more storms back here that are coming your way. But this hail core here is heading toward Fenton, Holly, and Tyrone Township. US 23, this is at the tail end of rush hour here. Not a good situation here if you're on US 23. We'll keep a close eye on things. But we need to be mindful of that. Let's switch back over here to radar. We do have a couple other areas that are being impacted. Up here by Schwartz Creek, we do have cells moving into the Flint area. It should just be heavy rain, maybe some thunder and lightning with it. Overall, not seeing anything too bad for Flint. And then down here, entering the Livingston County area, just south of Weberville, is this cell that is producing some decent hail, thunder, lightning, and a lot of heavy rain. The main concern I have currently on radar is that center cell just south of Cohocton. Let's check out the Howl Cam now. I'll also take a backed out look here in just a few seconds at other cameras in the area. We do have several cameras as we move further east. We have a lot of cameras centralized in Grand Blanc, Flushing. We have Davison, Burton. We have a lot of cameras that are heading in the path of the storm, should I say. So we're going to keep a close eye on those. But this is beautiful structure here in the Howell area, looking west from downtown Howell. This is an amazing view that we have there. I also want to pull up a couple other cameras, just keep a close eye on things. We do have the C-Tech camera. I'll go ahead and back this out. There we go. Let's pull up C-Tech here in Fenton. One of the newer cameras we have. I can find it. There it is. There's Fenton. And again, still foggy out there. We can't really see much of anything, but I guarantee you as these storms roll in, it will likely push a lot of that fog out with it. We also have the Burton camera, you guys. One of the first cameras we ever had to our disposal, courtesy of Garching Technologies. Again, foggy up there. But we also this year, in a most recent camera, I believe, we do have one that is in the South Burton area. This is going to be courtesy of Diamond Precast. Also, a foggy scene here. This is looking to the south out of Burton. This can also pan, tilt, and zoom so we can look and move around with it. But overall, visibility up there is not that great. So we're going to go ahead and stick back down here toward Howell and keep it here. That's the best view we have at the current moment. Current time is 5:42, about to be 5:43. It's down there in the bottom right if you want to follow along. Make sure you're synced up all the time. I am Ryan, and we are live for the first time in 2026 for severe weather. Looks like the bulk of the severe storm has kind of shifted over to this northern cell in Livingston County. Not going to write this off just yet, heading toward Howell, because it still looks pretty potent. But if you kind of depict that purple, pink, and black zone, that's your hail core. And you can definitely tell there's a lot brighter and more wider hail core on this northern cell than there is on the ones to the north and to the south of it. So that's going to be my main concern right now. This is heading off to the east-northeast here at around 30 to 40 miles per hour. Taking a peek at different radars here on my advanced radar. It looks like the indication per GR2 and the advanced radar I use is saying hail is at 1.28 inches. So still indicating we do have some decent hail falling for sure. It is beginning to rain now, it appears, in Howell. Also, the sun is peeking out behind the clouds there, so very picturesque as the storm rolls through. Karen says thunder is starting in Tyrone Township. Looks like the severe warning for Ingham County has officially been canceled. All clear for Ingham. I would still be just a bit mindful if you are on the very far eastern half of the county toward the Livingston County line. We could still have some remnant lightning strikes in the area here, so don't let your guard down. I'd wait a few more minutes here if you're in the Weberville area, Dansville area, as the storm clears out entirely. But overall, the threat for hail has pushed completely out of Ingham County, so you are all clear from severe. Just be careful if you head outside because there is still lightning in the area. What counties are heading towards? So we have to keep a close eye. If this continues to push to the east, which it looks like it is, Oakland County is on deck here. We're putting Holly, Highland, White Lake, Milford, Waterford Township, Lake Orion, Oxford, and Ortonville on standby if this storm continues to track to the east. So it's not currently in Oakland County, but the county line is getting pretty close, guys. It's about right here just south of Fenton. Is Okemos going to be okay? Okemos is on the west side of the storm. You are all clear from this. You did have it earlier, but luckily it produced like dime-sized hail for you. So the threat for Okemos and Lansing in general is over. Good lightning now showing up on the CTEC camera. This is facing to the south-southwest out of Fenton, so the storm is approaching. I'll bet you we're going to see the fog clear out just a bit as the storm rolls through. This hail core is beginning to stretch and strengthen here just a bit. So Tyrone Township, you guys need to be inside away from windows. This storm is producing severe size hail. It is currently over Deerfield Center, about to move over US 23. So Tyrone Township, Partialville, and then probably just north of Osceola Township is going to be the worst of it. Luckily, it does not appear to be too populated here. But it is moving into a more populated area here in Oakland County. So hopefully it weakens by the time it does move into Oakland County. But still, people are in the path of this. This is going to be moving, again, due east now toward Tyrone Township, as well as about to cross US 23 here in northern Livingston County. There's a lot of lightning being picked up here on the CTEC cam. Looks like they just updated this warning. No change really, just remains in effect till 6:30 p.m. Quarter size hail is still the hazard. No update there. So no change with the update from Detroit's NWS office. Will there be power outages with this storm? The answer is unlikely. Not impossible, because lightning can still strike transformers and stuff like that. But there's no wind with this storm. There's no tornadoes. So anything that would cause major outages is unlikely. There's some good lightning there. Yeah, this is facing to the southwest, courtesy of CTEC. This is one of our newer cameras we had installed over the winter. Back to radar, I see a couple questions about this direction of the storm. We'll back it up. We'll animate this for you guys. They started off going to the northeast, and now they're moving more so due east with a very slight northward movement here. I would not be shocked to see Oakland County go under a warning here within the next 5 to 10 minutes, based on what I'm seeing here. If this storm doesn't weaken at least, let's hope it does. Back to the Howl cam. This is about to be, looks like about to be dumped on here by some rain and likely some hail as well. Thunder starting in Holly, says totally. Thank you for that report. Are more going to pop up? The answer to that is unlikely. I can't imagine we're going to have too many pop-ups tonight. This should be it, although honestly did not expect it to pop up this much. So I'm not going to say no entirely, but the odds that we do have more pop-ups are the unlikely side. We'll put it that way. This storm is now entering Oakland County here, so I would expect at very least a statement here shortly, but looking at the radar, I would more than likely guess they're going to go warning here for Oakland County. And again, areas impacted in Oakland here in the next couple of minutes. Holly, Highland, White Lake, and Springfield Township will be the next ones up here, as well as 75 by the Holly State Recreation Area. I'm pretty sure we do have a Highland camera here as well. We'll pull that up. Yes, we do, but it is all foggy. This is courtesy of Tony Serra Highland Nissan facing due west. It's all foggy. We don't have a view. This is crazy how much the atmosphere is changing between a couple counties. If you guys need a good peaceful image up at the Hampton Inn in Manistee, overlooking Lake Michigan with the sunset there, that is beautiful. But unfortunately, downstate, we still have severe storms that are ongoing. I'm going to pull up the outage map here. No outages coming in here just yet that I see, or at least major outages. That's good news. I'm going to pull up consumers as well as DTE just to be certain. We're going to leave it on the Howl cam here. This is gorgeous, but also kind of scary at the same time. So we do have a couple outages showing up in the, looks like the Fowlerville area, it appears, but not very many. Looks like in the county itself, there's about 16 customers out in Livingston, about 180 out in Oakland. So not too many. Keeping a close eye on other cameras here as well. We have a couple storms approaching several cameras. You can start to see the sunset there behind all that rain. Is it still snowing at the Big Mac Bridge? It is still snowing up there, yes. As far as I'm aware, it is, although it should be wrapping up here shortly. In fact, it may actually just be wrapping up now. It might be just blowing snow. It appears that it's still snowing up there. There is a new warning in effect there, as expected here for Oakland County. So Oakland County now does not include Wixom. Okay, back it up there. Does not include Wixom, Walled Lake, Novi, Farmington, Farmington Hills, Birmingham, Royal Oak, Oak Park, Hazel Park, and Southfield. It does include everybody else. In effect until 7 p.m. on the dot. So Troy, Auburn Hills, Waterford, Pontiac, White Lake, Highland, Milford, Commerce Township, Addison Township, Oxford Township, Lake Orion, Holly, and anywhere between those areas. This is actually a populated area here. So this is a little more concerning with the population aspect of this. So the only hazard with this warning is going to be that severe hail up to quarter size in diameter. There is no wind. There is no tornado threat with these storms today. The wind could be up to 40, perhaps 50 miles per hour, because when you have a lot of hail, it can hit the ground kind of like a microburst almost, where it hits the ground and it spreads outward with a lot of force. So that's a possibility with these storms. But overall, there's no real threat for damaging winds due to the storms themselves. They're a byproduct of the heavy rain and or hail. All right, so we have quite the monstrosity, for lack of a better term, of a storm system that has developed here in the eastern half of the Lower Peninsula. Luckily, it's only impacting a couple counties, so it's not widespread in nature, but it is moving into a populated area. So underneath the current hazards, we have Holly, just south of Fenton here. Tyrone Township looks to be getting the worst of it. I know we've had a lot of people here in Tyrone Township in chat. Let me know how you guys are doing. Overall, though, this is a hail threat, not a wind or a tornado threat. It's just simply hail today. Aside from hail, heavy downpours, frequent lightning, also hazards, but technically not severe. Looks like the worst of the storm is going just to the north of the camera here in Howell. You can see over here on the right side of the screen, a bit more darker. On radar as well, you can definitely tell the strongest of this storm is going to miss Howell just perhaps to the north. Again, this is looking to the northwest here in the city of Howell. So we're looking right down this main stretch here of 96. Holly being impacted here shortly, if not already. Taking a zoomed out look here, taking a peek at the camera network. Let's try a couple other cameras here. I'll leave it on radar for right now. I'll go ahead and animate for you guys to kind of get an idea of where it's moving to. There you go. While you do that, I'm going to hop in our cameras and take a peek at what's ahead here. Whoa. Not really anything interesting, but the camera, the sky in Burton, because of the sun angle with the clouds, it is lighting the entire area up as like this pinkish orange color. That is kind of freaky. This is courtesy of Guardian Technologies there. I'm just kind of scrolling through, seeing if I can locate anything else here before we take back the radar and kind of dive back into things. Again, we have 96 cameras here within the state of Michigan, so I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything with good views and stuff like that. At the current time, it does not appear that I am. All right, back in here to the radar. Go ahead and stop this. New warning is in effect until 7 p.m. for Oakland County. The text of it says the warning is in effect for Oakland County until 7 p.m. Hazard is quarter-size hail, and the source is radar indication. The storm will be near Holly around 6 p.m. That's in 2 minutes. Clarkston, 6:15, and Oxford around 6:25 p.m. Eastern Time. I do have an interesting look here from a good ways away, down by where I'm at, actually. Courtesy of ANS Garage. If I get this camera to load up here. If you see it here, I'm looking at this, where'd it go? This camera right here. This is in Dundee, Michigan, and it's looking, I have to imagine, at these storms, there they are, up to the north there. So quite a long ways away. We're seeing those thunderheads from quite a distance. Holly, Fenton, Tyrone Township, Rose Corners, Davisburg about to be impacted or are being impacted as we speak. Current time is 5:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Will it miss Brighton? Brighton, you are going to be down here, and yes, this storm appears to be going just to the north of Brighton at the current moment, but still a good idea to stay indoors just because lightning can and does strike outside the storm itself, and you are in the close proximity range. You could have a couple strikes out of the blue, as we call them. So it's a good idea to stay indoors if you're in Brighton, but no threat for severe weather or hail for you guys at this current moment. A new statement incoming here for Lapeer County, in effect till 6:45. Looks like they're going to issue it for the Davison, Lapeer, Grand Blanc areas, and the issue is nickel-size hail and winds up to 40 miles per hour with these two storms. So Lapeer be on deck here. Imlay City, this should be going to the north of you guys. Goodland, Burnside, Brown City, North Branch should be on alert as the storm or as these storms move your direction. We do have a camera in the path of this as well. Surprise, surprise. That is going to be Deerfield Township Fire Department. And we'll take that very quickly here. As you can see, once again, foggy. So not much to really get a good view on, unfortunately, in the path of that. But hopefully as it gets closer, we can see that. The western half of Livingston County, including Fowlerville, Fleming, Parker's Corners, and almost to Howell, is about to be cleared. Howell's on the very tail end of this, so you guys will be cleared in just a few minutes. Taking a peek into our inbox here. sky is weird orangish color in Fenton too. Yes, it is. Going back here to that Burton camera, it is pinkish orange out there. It's quite eerie, I must admit. Hailing in Fenton, slightly larger than pea size. Thank you, Monica, for that report. Sabrina says it is foggy right now in Clarkston. Madison says our state is definitely unique to say the least. I agree. Tangy, I did notice that. We'll talk about that in just a second. Before we do talk about that cell, I will say the warning for Livingston has been trimmed significantly. It is now this smaller yellow polygon from Howell up to just north of Oak Grove, over to the county line of Livingston, down toward about Brighton Township. It is now a very small section of Livingston County. That's good. Keep a close eye. We have a cell going up in Ann Arbor, or near Ann Arbor here, just to the north where I live, actually. In fact, that's probably what we were seeing on the Dundee cam off to the right of the screen, or left of the screen, actually. Pull that back up. That is going to be this cell right here popping up. As you can see, it's still small, but it is starting to produce precipitation here, so it could start to strengthen up as it moves in toward Ann Arbor and eventually toward the Detroit metro area in Wayne County. So we'll keep a close eye on that. This is, again, courtesy of A&S Garage here in Dundee, facing to the north. Also, we can pan this to the north, due north. We can see the other thunderhead is just behind that taller building there. So we do have good visuals here as these storms will progress into the Detroit metro area and surrounding areas. Also take a note, we do have a camera here in Britain looking to the north as well. There's your cell popping up heading into Ann Arbor. Taking a peek at the camera back in Fenton. It looks to be clearing out on the right side of your image. That's going to be your west. I see blue sky. On the back side of this, we do have quite the rainstorm going on. Go ahead and back out of this, and we'll go ahead and take back the radar, go over the areas and impacts once again. Two severe warnings in effect. First one, and the main concern right now, is northern Oakland County. The bulk of this currently is over Holly as well as Rose Corners. The darker purples there are the main concern for severe weather in terms of hail. Again, this is a hail threat. There is no tornadoes or no damaging wind threat of significance today, so it should just be primarily a hail threat. Could have some gusty winds mixed in there, but should be less than severe in criteria. This cell or conglomerate of cells is pushing to the east-northeast toward Ortonville and Oxford Township. Also, Howell is officially cleared out from the precipitation. You guys should be all clear. As soon as you hear that last rumble of thunder, wait 20 minutes before going outside. That's a good rule of thumb. Overall, this is heading toward Highland, Heartland Township, Milford, and White Lake areas over the next 5 to 10 minutes. Missy back for month number 19. Tyrone Township was yellow about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, that's all thanks to the sunset, the sun angle, kind of making things nice and eerie out there. So that's really just time of day more than anything. But it is quite cool when it does happen because it just kind of lights up the entirety of the ground, the sky, and surrounding areas. So. Braxton says the severe warned storm left pea-sized hail and some fog in Swartz Creek. Thank you for that report. I will say, it looks like the overall trend here the past couple of scans has came down in intensity just a smidge. I'm not going to say it's down a lot, but it is looking like the hail core is becoming smaller and more, or should I say less distinct as a storm has moved on here. There's your hail tracker here. Not as bright as it once was, but still have some picking up here by Holly, Fenton, and just east of Tyrone Township here. If I back this up and animate, you can definitely tell it was a bit stronger further to the west here. There it is, maxed out at red and purple. It looks like it's starting to weaken just a bit. So let's hope that continues. Again, the ingredients today, they aren't really supportive of long track or really long lasting severe weather in general. So anything that does pop up should be, short-lived in nature. This has been going on for 45 minutes. We've been live going on 46 minutes here. So this is, I guess, decently long, but it should be wrapping up here soon. I have to hope and imagine. Also keeping a close eye down here in Ann Arbor. That cell we just mentioned about 5 minutes ago is now getting some yellow in the radar there. That's about 40 dBz or so. So it is continuing to strengthen, and that's moving into Ann Arbor and eventually toward Belleville, Ypsilanti, and Canton areas. We'll have to keep a close eye on that because these cells up here all started off like this one, a little dot on radar, and now they've turned into massive hail producers. So we'll have to keep a close eye on that. Right now, though, all is well. I do have a shot here in Ann Arbor facing to the south, courtesy of Ace Aviation. Off to the right of the screen is going to be the west there, and that is your sunset, but also the tops of the storm clouds going up there. So kind of a nice, unique look here. Also on the right side of your screen, there's a plane taking off, or perhaps landing. I don't know which one it is, but there's a plane landing or taking off. So that's also pretty cool. A lot going on there. I missed a lot of comments here. I apologize. I'm behind. There is pea-sized hail in Howell near M59, Eager Road, and Boguesview Drive. Thank you for that. Do you think today's storms are going to be similar to tomorrow's storm? Michigan's threat tomorrow is very low. Very low. We talked about in today's video where the ingredients just don't line up very well. So overall severe threat tomorrow is very low. And if it does happen, South Michigan with a perhaps gusty wind threat, but I don't think it's going to happen unless something dramatically changes. A lot of pea-sized hail reports in there. Thank you for that. Pea-sized hail in Lapeer, pea-sized in Holly, pea-sized in Davisburg, thick fog in Oxford, foggy in Auburn Hills, hail in Holly, thunder starting in Clarkston. We just got larger than pea size in Mason. All right, that's caught up the chat here. Thank you guys for all those reports. Appreciate you guys rolling those our way. Again, I'm working solo today, so any reports you guys have and can make to me here in chat that I can see and pick up are appreciated. You can also send us a message and also drop a comment, not on the live stream, but on different posts on our page with a picture or video as well. That also works. This is heading pretty much due east and a tad bit north as it moves east. We'll talk locations here in just a second here. I want to zoom in on this Lapeer cell. I'm getting a lot of comments of pea-sized hail up here in Lapeer. This cell does not appear to be very significant in nature, but the atmosphere today would be supportive of that pea-sized hail regardless. So if you are getting hail in the Lapeer or Elba area, it is not a surprise by any means. The radar looks a bit weak, yes, but pea-sized hail is easily doable with today's atmosphere. New scan coming in here. Looks like the hail core is intensified just a smidge here, just south and a little bit east of Holly. Checking this out, heading into Davisburg, Austin Corners, and Jossman Acres, Andersonville, Independence, Clarkston area. New scan about to cross. It actually is over 75 right now between Davisburg and Austin Corners. Trying to get a good camera here to pull up and kind of leave up for a bit, but everything is foggy out ahead of this. I'm looking at Lake Orion. It's all fog there. Let's try out Highland again, see if that's cleared out just a bit. The answer is no, but it is purple there. That's for sure. The sun angle is not. The sun angle is making things a little bit eerie out there, to be truthful with you guys. It's a little pink out there, but we'll leave it here, actually. This is a good view. The storms are moving in this direction momentarily. This is the south end of the storm. So for reference, the Highland cam here at Tony Sarah Highland is right there where you see Highland on the radar. So it's just about to be engulfed in the heavier rain on the south side of this storm. On the north side, though, we do have Lake Orion, our camera there out ahead of this, but it's still a good ways away. So not too much doing there, unfortunately. while we have a little bit of a break here, we do have several cells going on here, but the main concern is going to be heading in towards Springfield Township Independence area. I do want to post a radar update here, so bear with me, guys. I'm working solo today. We have Joel here momentarily, but I got to do a lot of things behind the scenes as well. So we're going to get a radar update posted so people who aren't watching this stream are aware of what's coming. So give me 1 second to type this up real quick and get this posted on Facebook. All right, that's posted. Thank you guys for bearing with me here. Back to chat. Chopstick says, snow for weeks, now severe. Good job, Michigan. Things can change. Today we had storms, severe weather, we had freezing rain, snow. We had every flavor of weather today. Let's not mince words. We got every flavor of weather today here in the state. What did we not have? Trying to think. We've had it all. Maybe grapple? Regardless, though, the hail core on the cell is intensifying just slightly here. Currently located over Springfield Township, Davisburg area. This road is going to be Davisburg Road and this crossroad of Andersonville. All the way up here to Anderson Corners off of Dixie Highway and Bald Eagle Lake Road. Pop out the pen here, talk about the areas impacted. We're going to lock that up. There we go. That's your hail core. This is moving to the east-northeast here toward Oxford Township, Lake Orion. My pen's stuck. Orion Township, as well as Oakland Charter Township, and eventually Addison Township up in that general direction. We do have a Lake Orion camera, but right now it is all fog. So we'll keep a close eye on that. I do see some breaks in the clouds here on the Highland Nissan camera, courtesy of Tony Serra Highland Nissan. Center left of your screen, some blue sky filtering in there. So there is a little bit of hope on that horizon. Well, that's beautiful. Check that out. You got the sun on the backside of that storm. That's going to be pretty. For those of you on the backside of these storms, the sun is setting. It's probably a nice yellowish orange glow on the backside of these thunderstorms. That's a good picture up there, guys. That's really good. Unfortunately, I can't pan or tilt this, but I bet you if we can find a camera, let's see if I can go further to the, where's my Calhoun County cam? Let's get this one a shot. This is courtesy of Calhoun County 911. Let's back this out here just very quickly. Yeah, that's beautiful, guys. Let's back this way. It's off in the distance there. But still, the back side of these storms are illuminated by that sun. That's a very picturesque scene there. This is, again, in Calhoun County, facing to the east here, courtesy of Calhoun County 911. Appreciate them for sponsoring 2 cameras, actually, on some towers in the county. I do want to take note the Lake Orion cam is going to be the next one in line to be impacted. So, again, as you can see, it's all fog. This is going to be courtesy of Storm Guard Roofing Construction. Do have the Highland camera now showing those pink-orange cloud tops on the back side of the storm. Very beautiful out there tonight. Very beautiful. This is about to impact the Detroit radar in White Lake. The hail core now is over Springfield Township. The worst of it from Ortonville down to about Highland, moving to the east-northeast toward Lake Orion, Auburn Hills, and eventually Leonard, Addison Township, and Rochester areas. The yellow is a severe thunderstorm warning. The blue is a special weather statement. The statement is a step below a warning. So statements are for dime size, penny size, nickel size hail, or pea size hail in some cases. Severe is for quarter size or larger. So once you get quarter size, you get a severe warning. The green up here is a flood advisory in effect for Huron as well as Sanilac counties. The severe warning for Livingston County is all clear. It is canceled. So Livingston County, all clear, as well as Ingham as well. For those of you who just got under the warning the first time, Ingham's clear, and now Livingston is clear. Oakland is not, though. Northern Oakland County is the only county with a warning currently, which is good news. However, it is pretty populated in this area. So let's hope for minimal damage in this case. Don't want to see that. Checking on that cell down here in Ann Arbor, and we now have a nice little popcorn, as I call it, directly over the south end of Ann Arbor downtown. So be mindful of this. This could turn into something as well, a very similar environment. So we could see this pop up and become a little bit more organized as it pushes into Wayne County in the next 10 to 15 minutes. But right now it is staying subdued as a nice little rain shower. I do not see lightning with it, although it could be producing lightning. I just don't see that on radar at this current time. Yeah, there is no risk today for a tornado, guys. There's very minimal ingredients for that coming together. There's no concern on our end, at least, for that. The Meyer parking lot sunset. Ah, yep, I agree. I agree with you. I know where you're going with that. The sky can be, in the most scenic places, completely calm, but the good old Walmart parking lot or Meyer parking lot, pink, orange, red, all the colors. How's Alpena going? So for those of you further north that were impacted by the wintry mix and snow and freezing rain earlier, the radar currently shows you guys all clear, minus a couple areas out there of some freezing drizzle left over. So not much happening up there. Your winter storm warnings and advisories remain in effect for a few more hours. Up in the UP, we will see snow continue off and on throughout the overnight period, especially for the west central part of the UP there, but not going to be too big of a deal there. We could accumulate in some areas 4 to 6 inches additional, but again, that's going to be over the course of the night, so nothing too major going on right now or in a shorter period of time. Severe warning remains in effect for Oakland County until 7 p.m. That's 41 more minutes. The only hazard is quarter-size hail. Winds up to 50 miles per hour are possible. However, the winds with this should not be a huge concern, period. The Lake Orion cam continues to look very spooky. I'm going to go ahead and make this, bring this up for you guys. This is courtesy of StormGuard Roofing Construction. This is facing to the southwest. And as you can see, it's nothing but fog. I'm hoping we can get some lightning popping up here eventually. The storm is getting close, but it's still got a few minutes to go. Jenny says thunder and lightning in Metamora. Thank you for that. Clear skies in Holly now, says Mike. Thank you, Mike, for that report. And yes, Holly is on the backside of this storm, as is Howell and Brighton and Highland areas. Fenton as well. You guys are all clear from this. We do have, for those of you wondering how this is happening in February, we do have a little bit of instability out there that is creating some pop-up storms. We had just enough lift to get some stuff up and going today. We do lack a lot of moisture, though. The moisture is the main limiting factor with today's thunderstorms. In fact, we thought it was so dry that we weren't going to see them, period. But obviously we were wrong. We did have a risk out there for thunderstorms today, so we did anticipate a chance, but we did not expect anything on this magnitude at all. This magnitude was not expected. If I were to back this up here and show you guys, I'll show you guys this actually, just so you can see what I see. So we use a tool, it's called Mesoanalysis. It basically gives us a measure of real-time information of wind shear instability all across the US. So obviously Michigan is up here. If I back this up 2 hours, Those red outlines you see over the south part of Michigan, that's your instability. That's what's fueling these thunderstorms today. We did have quite a bit of it. We had 1,000 joules actually back earlier today. And now as we get closer to sunset, we're starting to drain that out. So these storms should not last much longer, but we did have a decent environment for those severe storms, or not severe, but at least for some storms to pop up. But again, did not expect that to happen with the moisture quality of the atmosphere today. Dew points are in the low to mid 40s for reference. So that's very low. That's your scientific explanation of the day. Back here to the radar as well as our camera network. The radar of Detroit is right here, so it looks a little bit weird, but it will get better as it moves east out of that radar hole. Otherwise, the heavier storm is up here just north of Independence, south of Perry Lake Heights, moving into Lake Orion and Oxford. Speaking of Lake Orion, our camera here is about to be impacted. I want to see if we can get some lightning in the fog. I feel like that's really spooky. So we'll leave it right here and see what we can get. In the meantime, I'm going to turn to chat here and read your guys' comments. So feel free to drop a comment, report, whatever you guys want to say hi, I don't care. No problem, Sparty. Rolling Thunder and Metamora. Was that lightning I missed? Of course. What's up, Dinkle? Saying hi. Clear and sun in Michigan. Not all Michigan, DJ. Not all Michigan. No problem, Lori. Rain has just started in Clarkston. Looks so weird. Was it lightning? I think it was. I caught the tail end of it. Thundering Inlay City. We do have an Inlay City cam. How's it looking up there? Let's take the Inlay City cam actually real quick. Let's get a view on that. I'm not sure I have it in the panel here. We have 96 cameras and only 64 can fit on the screen at one time. So I got to scroll on down here. I got to find good old sponsor of Valley Farms in Imlay City. It is a foggy night out there. Whoa. There we go. It is foggy, but it's also very bright with that lightning out there. So this is facing south, courtesy of Valley Farms in Imlay City. As you can see, that storm's approaching from the right side of your screen. Some pretty bright lightning there as well. Lit that camera up. So I'll be mindful of that. The storm up in Lapeer County does not appear to be too strong or severe. Taking out the radar here. Our Imlay City cam is right here on 53. As you can see, the storm is moving off to the east toward the camera, not on top of it just yet, but close enough to get that bright flash of lightning. Looks like these storms are starting to die down just a bit, so let's hope that trend continues. Even the cell down here in Ann Arbor still seems to be kind of meandering, holding together, but not really strengthening or really weakening. So let's hope that trend continues as well. Let's check out the hail tracker as well. We do have a couple products we can use. For a big, large hail core, we want to see those brighter reds and purples and pink colors. We're not seeing that. So, okay, update now. The warning looks like it's been trimmed. Let's take a peek at this. They continue it for severe hail. So Holly now in the clear, Highland in the clear, Milford, White Lake, all in the clear. The yellow polygon has been trimmed to the very far northeast corner of Oakland County. Let's take a peek at this. Anything updated? Still says radar indicated. Pontiac, Oxford around 6:30. Rochester around 6:40. That's about it. No new updates besides trimming it back to a very localized area further to the north and to the east in Oakland County. I do want to show you guys a beautiful shot here, courtesy of the Ludington Area JC's Mini Golf. This is facing west over Lake Michigan. Check out that sunset. That is gorgeous, and especially with the lighthouse out there. Holy cow. Let's get a zoom on that if we can. It's not going to be a best quality, but that is beautiful. it's a tale of like 4 seasons, really. We have winter further north, we have spring going on right now with severe storms in the east, and we have summer-like weather and scenes in the west part of the state. It is a tale of 4 seasons today across Michigan. So again, thank you to Ludington area JC's Mini Golf for this camera view. That is a gorgeous scene over Lake Michigan there. So thank you very much for that. Crazy. I cannot wait to get to the heart of severe season with these cameras because we're going to have every inch of the state covered. I cannot wait for it. Take back the radar here for you guys. The heart of the storm is moving into Lake Orion right now. I got the camera pulled up watching it. It's still very foggy, but we'll keep it right here. Addison Township, Leonard, Oakland Charter Township, Lake Orion, Auburn Hills, Orion Township, all in the path of this. M24 north to south from Auburn Hills up to the border, county border on the north side is going to be under the gun for large hail, as well as heavy downpours and frequent lightning. I just put a text post out on the page. Only in Michigan do we have severe warnings and winter warnings in the same time in the same state. It is truly a tale of 4 seasons today here in Michigan. It's crazy. Okay, see a $5 super chat from Zim. Thank you, Zim. We have thunder, lightning, and hail in Metamora. Thank you for that report, Zin. Okay, Hadley, that's fair. 3 seasons, technically not fall out there, but you could definitely make a case for fall. You could. We did have wind today, and wind's usually more rampant in fall, so there's a case. But I get your point. Barbara says small hail in Oxford. Awesome, thank you for that report. The latest scan here does show that hail core increasing as it moves into Lake Orion here. So from Oxford down to about Lake Orion Heights, you guys have a little bit more potential here for some hail in a localized area. This is going to go right for the camera, I believe. Our camera is right in the line for this. So let's pull that up here. This is facing south-southwest here, just north of the actual Lake Orion on the map there. So this is going to get the heart of the hail core. Let's see if we can't depict anything. It's a little hard to tell. It's nighttime, but it's also very foggy out. Let me see if I can make this a bit brighter here just to help us out. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to hop in here and see if I can turn some lights on. There's some lightning. I'm not sure this is going to help us or not, but I'm going to turn this on and see what it looks like. It doesn't really help us out much at all, truthfully. That's unfortunate. All right. This is just a hail threat. There is no tornadoes or wind with this. It's just simply hail. So as long as you're inside, away from windows, you are going to be A-okay. There's no reason to panic there at all. Super says small hail in Waterford. Thank you for that report. For the most part, you guys are reporting a lot of pea and dime size hail. I'm not getting any reports from you guys here in chat of quarters anymore, which is really good news. Let's hope that continues to be the case. Janelle says the MSC empire of cameras is awesome. I would agree with you. And we have plans to put more up this year. We're partnering once again, as you may know, with Garcher Technologies for the installs. And we are open for sponsorships here in 2026. We have a new and improved system, as well as new and improved options for our cameras. Some good lighting there. Yes, Julie, for those with storm anxiety, we do have a Discord. We have a channel, but also a server as well. But in that server, we have a channel for weather anxiety. So if you have Discord and you have weather anxiety and want to connect with people, with weather anxiety, feel free to hop on our Discord. If you're on YouTube, our moderators can drop a link in chat for you to click on and join. Feel free to do that. In the meantime, though, I have an update for you on radar. This hail core has continued to strengthen. It is directly over US 24 here in Lake Orion. So be mindful of that. I'm not sure how large it is, but it does look visually, at least, this could be close to severe size. I will wait for the next update on the hail tracker. We call it VIL, so vertically integrated liquid, basically a measure of water droplets in the atmosphere. So hail shows up as a bit bigger. But overall, the hail tracker is not really showing much anything right now, but that could change in a couple minutes. I'll actually bet it would change in a couple minutes. It's usually delayed a few minutes. Anyway, Lakeville, Campbell's Corner, Oakland Charter Township, Addison Township in the path of this. Eventually, if this continues on its east trek, if they warn it again, Romeo, Armada, and Washington Township would be in the path of this along M53. Yes, Hadley, I know you're talking to the folks over there on Facebook. Unfortunately, Facebook has a lot of limiting factors with what our moderators can do. So links are blocked automatically. They can't really do much anything over there. So if you want to get a direct link, hop over to YouTube and ask for it over there. Unfortunately, I can't really do much of anything for you guys on Facebook just because of limitations of the platform. Cyndaquil with a month number 20 membership. Thank you, Cyndaquil, for that. Asking, Ryan, do you want... Oh, okay. Asking, Ryan, do you want summer for the Ferris wheels, right? There was an inside joke last year. We had a lot of fairs going on our cameras, and it was really pretty. I liked it a lot. But then the inside joke became I like fairs and Ferris wheels, and I believe there's an emoji on YouTube as well with my face on it with a Ferris wheel. It's crazy, but you know, honestly, I'm a spring and I'm a fall guy. I am not a huge summer fan, truthfully. I'm a spring and fall. I like my cooler weather, but not too cool. Hail has started in Lake Orion. Kelly, if you can safely tell me how big it is, feel free to drop that in chat as well. I'm kind of curious. Looks like the heart of this is going directly over Lake Orion. So the hope is it's still sub-severe, but in this case, it does look to have potential to at least be a little bit larger in nature. So let's hope that's not the case, but it could be the case. Nice lightning strikes there. Unfortunately, with the camera, I can't really make out any hailstones bouncing off the rooftop here, so I can't really make that out for sure. But this camera is taking the heart of this cell right now, and you can definitely tell it's raining pretty hard. Destiny Owasa was in the clear. Delaney says marble to pea size in Orion. Thank you for that. Pea size hail in Oxford. Thank you for that. Is the northern cell severe? No, it is not. It is producing pea size hail just south of Imlay City, but overall not severe at this current time. It does not appear to look severe either with our radar indications. I'm going to check out the Imlay City cam just to see what I can see here, and the answer is not much. Unfortunately, we have a lot of fog out there that's blocking our visual on a lot of our cameras, so we see a lot of fog. That's about it. Is Discord only for people who live in Michigan? I live near Michigan, but not in Michigan. You can join it, Michael. You have permission to join. Latest scan does weaken out that hail core enough to warrant mention that we could see a weakening trend here. I'm hoping that they opt for a statement here for Macomb County. We'll see what they do. The storm is about to enter Macomb County, so we'll see what they do. I'm going to guess a statement. That's my guess. But I wouldn't be shocked to go warning just because of the history of the storm producing larger hail. So we'll see what they do. I would expect there to be an issuance here any second at this point. Armada, Romeo, Washington Township would be in the line for the path of this. M53 here from Almont down to about Washington Township. It would be the M53 corridor. I have a video confirmation of $half size hail in Fowlerville from earlier. Not current, but earlier we had $half size hail in Fowlerville. Sure thing, Brian. Here's your relative location to Michigan. So there's your good old hand of Michigan. And you can see we are way down in the southeast corner of the state, north of Detroit, south of Flint, about to move into Macomb County and eventually into Canada here, about a half hour to another hour. Again, waiting on their issuance of a statement or a warning here from Macomb County. I'd have to imagine one of the two would be coming soon. Maybe not. Maybe they're going to have to do nothing. I don't know. The storm is, from you guys here in chat, looks to be producing pea-sized hail, so I'm not getting too many reports of larger hail. So. I do. Did they? I don't see that yet on my end. When they issue alerts, that bottom bar, you're going to see that pop up with a new alert. Also, just want to give a quick plug. If you guys do have damage from today's hail, if there was large enough hail to do damage, your sponsor in this Livingston County area, we have two of them actually. We have On Top Roofing for Livingston County and most of Southeast Michigan. We also have Storm Guard over here in the Lake Orion area. So you can call one of these guys to get a hold of, or you can message us directly and we'll get you a hold of the person who covers your area. But if you have roofing or siding damage from today's hail, Storm Guard is 248-985-3239. On Top Roofing is 810-588-3933. Also, thank you guys on the sponsor. I can't talk. Thank you to both of those guys on the sponsorship side of things for helping keep the lights on here at MSC. Appreciate their support as well as services they provide to you guys. Thank you, Delaney. We'll take a peek at it here in just a few minutes. Right now, the storm is entering Macomb County, and there is not a statement or a warning in effect here. So maybe it's a sign they're going to assume it's weakening to a point where it doesn't need a warning anymore. That's the best case scenario, in my opinion. But we have that warning in effect, and as long as it's in effect, we'll be live here. But overall, I would definitely say this storm is trending down based on what I'm seeing currently. We've lost the pink, purple, and black of the radar. That's a heavy hail core. We've lost that. We're still red, so still some smaller hail, definitely a possibility here. Heavy rain, frequent lightning as well, but not seeing too much in the way of those brighter hail cores. Your hail tracker looks like it's weakened out pretty good, and wind velocity does not appear to be very good either. There is your statement there. So they opted for a statement. So that is a step below a warning, and that gives us permission to hop out of here as soon as this storm has cleared the warning area. The statement, though, in effect here for Armada, Romeo, Richmond, New Haven, Shelby Charter Township, Chesterfield Township, New Baltimore, Milton areas, until 7:15, I believe that is. The hazard is nickel 0.88. So nickel size hail, a step below severe, as well as winds up to 40 miles per hour. That's going to be in effect for 34 minutes So 7:15 is your expiration time on that cell. In terms of outages, I do not see many outages popping in here in the path of this storm. That's good news. So no outages reported. That is awesome. I don't see too many statewide anymore, actually. The biggest one is in Delta County in the UP. We have about 800 customers out there. In total in Michigan, we have right around 3,000 customers out of power statewide. Once this storm moves over into Oakland County, and as long as our concern is low enough, we will hop out of here. So this threat, for the short term at least, this could change obviously, but for the short term, next couple of minutes, this storm appears to be weakening or weakened enough that warrants a little less concern for the hail threat. New statement for St. Clair as well. Again, this northern cell appears to be gaining some strength. I just noticed that. Let's watch this loop here real quick. Let's go ahead and take a peek at this. Yeah, over here by KPAC, just west of KPAC. Nearby our Imlay City Cam, just to the east of that, actually. Hail core is going back up there, so we'll have to keep a close eye on that. We'll talk about the text of what that statement means here in just a minute. I want to pull up the Imlay City Cam. It is still a mostly a foggy mess up there, so not much doing there with the visual on the storm. Good lightning there. But unfortunately can't make out any structure. It's just a foggy blob. The text of the statement, let's go ahead and read that through. It is going to be in effect for penny-size hail and 40-mile-per-hour winds, so a 2 steps below severe warning. So it translates to 0.75 inches in the hail department, and then 40-mile-per-hour winds. Again, for severe, you want an inch diameter equal to a quarter. We'll likely just stay alive here until these storms either completely weaken out to a point we're not concerned, period, or until they move out into Ontario here, because they're moving at a pretty good clip. And honestly, I don't want to go off, have to go back on in 10 minutes anyway. So we'll just relax here for a second. I can imagine this warning is about to expire or at least be canceled at some point soon. We'll see what they do there. But overall, these storms appear to be weak enough that the current concern is less. But I don't want to hop off and eat my words and say in 10 minutes later down the road, we're back live for severe. So we'll stay on. In the meantime, though, I'm going to put out another text post. The speed of the storm has picked up as well. We're going at 45 miles per hour. Let's check out something a bit different tonight, actually. We are looking at the Burton camera here. One of the Burton cameras, courtesy of Garch Technologies. This is at their back lot, I believe, looking at their bird feeder. And you can see the deer there exiting stage left. But that was a little unique, I guess. Caught my eye on the cameras. We'll go ahead and put a sunset cam up in the bottom left of the screen there, just because a lot of our cameras are foggy, and we also don't have much in the way of cameras near Port Huron as well as St. Clair County yet. So we don't really have much ahead of these storms. I can show you, however, a sunset that is gorgeous. This is in Lenawee County at the Madison Township Fire Department in Adrian, Michigan. Beautiful view there. I think a concern, if we had a concern meter, I think the cell up here in K-Pac has just a bit more concern than what I have down here for the cell heading into Romeo and Armada areas. Technically, we are in the thumb, kind of, but if you're north of Sandusky, there's not much happening up there by Bad Axe or Caro, Sebring area. There's not much happening up there. What you see on radar is what you get. Nathan, we do have one. I'm not going to say where yet, but we do have one scheduled in the general area in southern St. Clair County, coming soon. It should be up here within the next couple of weeks, actually. Macomb County, the cell is over Romeo, Washington Township, heading toward Armada, Ray Center, Wolcott Mill, and Richmond areas. The warning has been, I'm not going to say canceled just yet, but they opted to go for a statement instead. There's the warning dropping off. So off the screen, off the bar at the bottom, we are just entering the statement ops, as we call it. They have canceled the warning for Oakland County. Macomb County, though, this cell is moving through toward Armada and Richmond areas. Small hail, frequent lightning, heavy downpours are your main concerns with it. The cell up here in K-Pac appears to be strengthening just a bit. Just a bit. We did have that cell down in Ann Arbor that was looking a little bit sneaky, I'll put it that way. That's turned into just some scattered rain showers here in Detroit Metro, Dearborn area. So no concern there. That did not turn into anything significant, which is good. I think this year we're gonna have to add some background music like we did at our winter streams. I feel like now would be a good time to pop on some like smooth jazz or something in the background to play softly, because at this point we're just kind of waiting for the storms to exit the state. So there's not much to do here. Izzy, I'm not sure we could do that without getting copyrighted, but I like the idea. I like where your head's at. I think I'll get with Joel here. Joel's the one who does a lot of our graphics and our setup and stuff like that. So I know he has the ability to play music. I don't know how he does it, but I will get with him and figure it all out. We're actually debuting a new streaming software, not software, but a new layout here this year. And we're still in the works. It's been a very long process, very long winter for us. If you guys have been following our page throughout winter, it's been snow system after ice system after system. It's just nonstop. And when there's not systems, presentations, or we're doing disaster relief. Like, it's just been nonstop here. So we're busy. We're trying to get things in order here for spear season. So bear with us, but we'll get it all figured out. Dawn says, no elevator music, please. I will not do elevator music. Nathan says, the furnace is running with a good lightning show. Pure Michigan. I like it. I like it. I see a lot of people on Facebook just tuning in here. We were live and we are live because we had severe thunderstorm warnings in the state of Michigan. We had Ingham. We had, what counties were there? We had Ingham, Livingston, and Oakland counties within warnings for hail. Also taking note, if we zoom in here on this camera, the moon is out. Love it. Marine warnings are possible, yes. Depends on how they act here over the next 5 to 10 minutes, but overall, storms are weakening, in my opinion. Could be some small hail in there that could trigger some statements for the marine area, but I'll have to kind of play it by ear here. I'm not a marine expert. I'm not sure what the criteria is for that, but if they're going to issue it for like pea-sized hail, then yes. Evan says winter has been nuts. I agree, Evan. I'm caught on something. I was indeed caught on something. Amy says, first hailstorm for me in Michigan since moving here. Well, welcome to the state, Amy. I have to imagine you're pretty new here. We do get hail quite often. It's usually the bigger hail is more so. This is just, I guess, a personal opinion. I don't know this for a fact, but in my experience here, a lot of the bigger hailstorms happen in the UP and northern lower. Not always, but usually that's how it works out because up there we have elevated storms, not a lot of surface fuel for them. But we do have large hail statewide sometimes. How does thundersnow happen? Good question. It's basically just like summertime. We do have to have a lot of lift, and we also have to have not a lot, but enough instability in that mid-level for storms to take, or for updrafts, or for the snow to become convective and produce lightning strikes. It's a very similar process, just in winter. I am too, Samantha. I am too. While we are chilling, I do want to roll through our sponsors here. We do have several who keep us operational here. If you had hail from today's storms in the affected areas, we have 2 sponsors who cover the areas impacted. We have StormGuard for Oakland, Macomb, Washtenaw County areas. 248-985-3239. We also have On Top Roofing out of Livingston County and surrounding areas. 810-588-3933. If you are unsure who covers what your area is, feel free to contact us and we'll put you in touch with the proper person. We also have Cass Roofing and Siding out of Powderville. We have Mike Hayes Roofing and Siding in the Thumb region. We have McKay Tree Specialist in Southeast Michigan. Kuiper Tree Care over in West Michigan. Top Gun Roofing and Exteriors in West Michigan. A-Class Construction. This is our spotlight sponsor of the day, I believe. Actually, no, it is not. That was yesterday. A-Class Construction Restoration out of Mason County. 833-298-ROOF is your number to call. The spotlight of the day is Rainbow Restoration out of Kent County. 616-583-1234. Our Skycam sponsor, Guardian Technologies. Audio video security needs as well. Our communication sponsor, Rapid Radios. American Arbor in Southwest Michigan. Clear Plow Snow Pushers. Apex Restoration out of Grand Blanc. RMHC House of Detroit. Not listed, we have ServPro across the entire state of Michigan. And we also have a couple others here that I do not have in my streaming software just yet. I need to fix that. Goes back to being busy and working through bugs on a new layout, so I apologize. But those are our sponsors here who keep us operational. We appreciate their support, as well as appreciate the services they provide to you guys as the consumer. Dense fog advisory in effect. Osceola, Clare, Mecosta, Isabella, Montcalm, Gratiot County until 7 a.m. We have quite a bit of fog out there, and as we can see on our weather cameras, that is the case. Thumbnail moon in Jackson. I see that on the camera there. You can barely make it out there, just above the sunset, a little bit left of center. The other sponsors that we have that I did not name is Top Notch Tree Care out of the Jackson Lansing area. We also have Crystal Flash, propane across much of Michigan, and then also, as mentioned, ServPro for the entire state of Michigan. I will get those overlays in my streaming software as soon as this is done so I don't forget it for next time. Heather says, a lot of lightning around Armada. Awesome. Appreciate that report. Armada is dead center of that cell currently. The good news is it does not appear to be severe. I think in the meantime, guys, I'm at a point, I'll check the data here one more time, but I don't think this is going to go severe anymore. I think we're clear to hop out, to be completely honest with you guys. We'll end it at 7 on the dot here, and we'll check one more time in about 5 minutes or so. We'll make sure, but overall, this is looking less and less impressive. Of course, I'll probably eat my words in 5 or 10 minutes anyway, but I'm just not really impressed. I don't think this is going to go severe. We've lost daytime heating. We've lost that storm fuel out there. The environment's not that great anymore, so we'll see. But I'm not feeling this anymore. Tammy, how large is the hail? Where are you at? We appreciate that report. Linda says, tons of lightning on the Lakeshore, Lexington area. Yeah, you're up there a bit further north outside the statement, but you still got a lot of showers and storms surrounding you, so not surprised by that at all. Yes, we are on 4 platforms primarily. We are on X, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook. Our posts go on there. Our live streams go on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch. And that's where we're live at right now. We have about 1,000 you guys watching between those 4 platforms. It is quiet now, for now. Unless you're underneath the storm, that's pretty hefty and underneath it. But for right now, though, we are quiet. Statements in effect for penny to nickel size hail also have frequent lightning out there. See you, Dawn. No problem, Patricia. Raining heavy on Lake Huron. All right, we're getting close to 7 o'clock here. I'm not seeing anything. I'll watch it behind the scenes just in case, but I'm not seeing too much to be concerned about here as these storms enter St. Clair County and exit Sanilac, or what county is this? This is Sanilac, isn't it? Yeah, Sanilac County. So as it exits Sanilac and St. Clair counties, I'm not seeing too much here that indicates these are strengthening or becoming severe in nature. If I'm wrong, I'll be back on here live as always. But in the meantime, yes, Hankins, this was a severe storm back near Lansing over toward about Howell area. Oakland, Ingham, and Livingston counties were severe. All right, with that said, I'm going to roll the outro in hopes that I don't eat my words and come back on in 5 minutes. So you guys enjoy your night. I'll catch you guys soon. How many of you guys are still with me, out of curiosity? I have not gone off air yet. I'm still here. As the intro's rolling, of course, the radar, latest couple scans, began to increase the storm again. And I did not want to hit the end button because if I did, there's potential for this storm to go severe. So I ran 3 outros, and here we are. So we are going to stick through this now. Always watching. I was able to wolf down my dinner in that time frame, so I'm good to go. But we're not going to go off air just yet. So if this, regardless of the storm goes severe or not, a good hail core just south of Richmond here, heading into Casco, Marine City, St. Clair, Hawthorne areas. It is not severe at this current time, but it does have a nice, juicy purple hail core on it that is entering St. Clair County as we speak here. The hail tracker on this, pop this up here. It's not overly intense, but it's enough to grab my eye. Yes, Mayor, yes, you did. Smith says, crazy lightning in St. Clair. I thought motion lights turned on. Also, keep in mind, we have a cell popping up down here in Canton now. There is a lightning strike with it as well. I just noticed that as well. So Wayne County now has storms going up as well. So 7:13 p.m. and storms are still, for some reason, not wanting to die. Go figure. The good news, though, this cell should be out into Canada here within about 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to say by 7:30 we'll be wrapping up here, and we should be done. But then again, these cells down here could strain. We have a lot of lightning going on down here in the Canton area. Let's head over to our Dearborn cam and get that positioned properly. Excuse me. There we go. Dearborn is now in the bottom left of your screen. Our concern, though, is going to be on the cell in St. Clair County with a decent hail core on it, moving into Casco right now. Adair Peters along the 94 corridor here near the airport. Is that? I don't know what airport that is. Robertson Field Aerodrome is what it's called. I'm just north of Port Huron, so I'm good. So there is a storm up there, but does not look to be severe or strong in nature. Just some heavy rain and some lightning and thunder for you. Organization of that north of Port Huron is very little. That goes up to Port Sanilac as well. Not too concerning there. This cell down here is the only concern I have at this current time. The statement for Macomb County has been allowed to expire there. The bulk of the storm is now in St. Clair. St. Clair County, should I say. St. Clair Town is about to be impacted by this. Scared me by the storm. Another dense fog advisory. Looks like they just issued that one not a few minutes ago, I'm pretty sure. But I guess they updated it. So that was a dense fog advisory for central Michigan for several counties. Lots of thunder and lightning in Westland. Thank you for that report. Westland is down here, and that cell is going up pretty good over Westland, Canton, Garden City area. Garden City area, heading due east here toward Dearborn, Hamtramck, and Detroit downtown. I will get the camera off the bottom left of your screen there. I know it's taking up a lot of space, but if you guys want that back, let me know. But I know a lot of you guys want to look at the radar, so we'll keep it here. Joseph says pea-sized hail in Canton. Thank you for that report, Joseph. Check out the hail tracker on this one more time. And there it is. It's getting bigger. It's getting bigger. Casco is getting the worst of it, it appears, or perhaps just north of Casco. Adair, Peters, and Casco area. The roads, Putty Gut Road, that's a name and a half. Putty Gut Road and Henson Road is going to be the center of that hail core. Adair is getting the brunt of it as well. Mr. Rob, or Roblo, you are going to probably have, I'm going to say, 30 to 40% chance of a warning at this point, I have to say. I'm not the officials. They have more data than what we have. What I'm looking at here is a decent hail core, decent updraft, decent product that I'm seeing that I would warrant concern for at very least penny-sized hail maybe. But they could be getting reports from residents or spotters saying, hey, I got quarter size. And they could go based off that. So what I'm seeing here, it's close, but I think it's still just a tad bit below severe. My opinion, obviously they have the official say and final say. The radar indication is just under 1 inch diameter hail is falling with the storm. So radar supports just a smidge below. Howl is clear, Diesel. Howl is clear. There are no tornadoes tonight in Michigan. We can all relax about those. It is simply a large hail threat, and right now there's no threat at all. There's a small hail threat with a storm in St. Clair County, and there's a pea-sized hail falling in the Garden City area in Wayne County by Detroit area. Otherwise, the entire state is clear of anything severe-wise. This storm should be out of the state in about 10 minutes. Janelle, if we get Aurora tonight, that's like the icing on the cake. We had snow, sleet, freezing rain, thunderstorms, hail, grapple, severe storms. We've had it all. If we get Aurora tonight, that's like the icing on the cake. I will go ahead and throw back up the Dearborn cam. I see a comment asking about it. This is facing northwest in Dearborn. This is courtesy of Garching Technologies. Foggy, but we can see lightning through the fog at some point, so we'll keep an eye on that. This is in Wayne County facing to the northwest. The strongest cell currently is up in St. Clair County. We don't have any cameras or chasers out covering that, so we're going to have to rely on your guys' reports as those come in, if they come in at all. So appreciate you guys. If you do live in the affected areas of St. Clair County, keep us in the loop on what's happening. What about those upper 60s temperatures today in South Michigan, guys? What's going on with that? That was a beautiful day we had today. Here at the house, we hit 67 degrees, and we had nice sunshine. It was great. It felt like spring out there, and I really enjoyed it. Angela says hail Livonia. How large? There's 2 reports of hail in Livonia. 3 reports of hail in Livonia. Okay. How large, guys, is your hail in Livonia? Let me know. There's currently no statement or warning in effect for Wayne County. We have a statement in effect for St. Clair County. Pixel says, I take severe weather over snow every day. I would too. Personal choice there, but I know a lot of people don't agree. Report of half-inch hail coming in Livonia. I see P size in Livonia from Laura. I see Locke saying maybe half-inch. Okay. Angela says larger than a P. Pizza Dime size, Ann Arbor Trail, Merriman, and Westman. Okay, thank you. I'm actually local to the area here. I used to deliver packages for those of you who are longtime viewers here. I actually deliver packages in the Canton area, so I'm very familiar with the area. I actually may have delivered your packages at one point. Fun fact about me. So these severe warnings have all been dropped for now. We did roll the outro about, 15 minutes ago? And I rolled it 3 different times because the cell in St. Clair County kept strengthening and strengthening and strengthening. And I'm watching that going, I better not hit the stop button because I'll regret it so much. So I figure I'll stay on here and just wait it out. Luckily, no more warnings have been issued yet, knock on wood. But down here, we have another cell going up in Wayne County. I got to watch this one too. The one in St. Clair appears to be maintaining strength, and if they haven't issued a warning yet, I can't imagine they're going to do so now. I could be wrong, but for right now, we appear to be sub-severe. Sarah says getting bigger. Carrie says hail in Plymouth. Locke says totally covering our deck. If you guys have videos or pictures, feel free to send those into us via Messenger or in our comment sections, not on this stream, but on other posts that are not live streams. Feel free to drop a comment of your photo or video, or hop over to our group on Facebook called Michigan Weather Reports. You can make your own post, and that goes directly to us. We can take a look at it. We can approve it, decline it, respond to it, so on and so forth. Hi, Logan. Yeah, so I'm in charge of the IWN stream. Unfortunately, did not expect storms to go this long up here. So once these are cleared of the state of Michigan, we'll be live down there for the severe weather briefing for Indiana. For those who don't know, we operate 3 different states. Michigan, Indiana are our 2 primary. And we have our team. We have actually 12 chasers tomorrow, combined out of 2 states, going down to Indiana to chase tomorrow's severe risk. So we have a briefing coming for that on the Indiana side as soon as the stream is done. So apologies to those of you who are watching from the Indiana side. Working this solo today. And once this is over, I'll be live down there. Thank you, Steven. Appreciate that. Mayor says my alert ping just went off, but it's for a snow squall in Colorado. Dang. This storm in St. Clair County should be out of the state in about, I'm going to say 7 minutes. The one down here in Wayne County will be out of state in about the same time, 10 or so minutes. But this one appears to be just maintaining strength right now. I don't see it strengthening at the latest scan. So hopefully that just stays subdued. And we can hop out of here in about 5 to 10 minutes for good. Oh, hi, Corey. Corey's in chat. Corey's one of our Indiana chasers. He'll be out and about tomorrow as well. If you guys want to tune into some live streaming, some storm chasing tomorrow, myself and Caleb will be hosting. We'll have, like I said, 12 of our chasers from Michigan and Indiana out and about chasing tomorrow's risk in Indiana, Illinois. So feel free, hop over to our Indiana page. It's called Indiana Weather Network. Feel free to hop over there, give us a follow. Live begins around 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow afternoon. Nice lightning there in Dearborn. The radar indicating hail now in Wayne County around a ½ inch. That looks to verify your guys' reports as well. The hail core, the hail tracker, should I say, down here in St. Clair area, really picking up. But the good news is we're about maybe 3 miles from the Canadian border. So if there is a warning issued, it'll be very short-lived in nature. But if you're in the Hawthorne or St. Clair area, good idea to head indoors. If you're not indoors already, you should be. Away from windows as the storm passes through. Regardless, there's a lot of lightning strikes here. Each one of those little bolts, that's your lightning strikes. And that purple small area here is your hail core. So could have a dual threat there with lightning and hail. Down here in Dearborn Heights, we do have this cell continuing. Our Dearborn cam is actually just to the west or the left side of that Dearborn placard here on the map. So we're looking right into the storm actually with this Dearborn cam. We'll take that full. This is courtesy of Guardian Technologies. Get some good lightning here. We'll wait a couple minutes. Z, I don't believe any of ours were up there. If there was a chaser, it might have been out of state or perhaps maybe a YouTuber. I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to other people's pages today. I can tell you, though, I don't believe it was any of ours. Yeah, decent hail core with this cell in St. Clair now. So I doubt they'll issue a warning. But if you're in St. Clair, be mindful. We've got some larger hail falling here as this cell pushes into Canada for good. And once that cell is out, I think this one's weak enough that I'm not worried about it at all. By the time it would strengthen, it should be in Canada. So I think we're good to hop out of here as soon as this cell crosses into Ontario, which should be in about 3 minutes. Yes, there is a chance tomorrow for tornadoes in Kentucky. The primary risk, though, that we're keying in on is going to be Indianapolis to Terre Haute. That area is where we're kind of thinking the hot spot's going to be tomorrow. But there is a chance across the Kentucky area as well. So just so we're clear, severe weather tomorrow for Michigan, very low. We're talking Indiana, Illinois, North Kentucky. Those are under the risk primarily. In fact, I'll back out and show you guys the risk for tomorrow. Go ahead and flip this on the screen here if I can. I'm still new to this software, so bear with me here. I'm trying to figure out how to pull up the outlooks. It's probably this one. There's your outlook for tomorrow. So as you can see, the marginal does technically cover the very far southwest corner of Berrien County here. But for the most part, the highest risk here, in our opinion, is going to be from about Rushville, Indiana, through Indianapolis, down toward Terre Haute. This region right down in here where the yellow is. And the hazard tomorrow is damaging wind is primary concern. A couple tornadoes are possible, but again, this is not going to affect Michigan. The highest threat will be somewhere along I-70 in Indiana area. I put the camera up at the right time. It's crazy. Christina says, just had marble-sized hail in East China. Thank you for that report. East China, I believe, is up here somewhere, but it's a very small town. Maybe not. East China. I know I've heard that name before, but I can't put my finger on it. It's in the thumb region. I know it's in the thumb. I know that much. It's going to bother me until I find it now. The UP was crazy today. I agree. A lot of freezing rain. Luckily, not too many power outages. But we did have quite a bit of snow up there, and we'll get snow over the next couple of days as well. Friday's system brings them more chances of snow and freezing rain for northern Michigan as well, so that's going to be something to watch as well. Luckily, Friday's system does not appear to be as warm, so we shouldn't have very many thunderstorm potentials, but it does warrant concern for a little bit of thunder and lightning there. They went ahead and issued a statement for Wayne County for this storm. They're going pea-sized hail with this, so that is not even close to severe criteria. The text of that says 30-mile-per-hour winds, pea-sized hail in effect until, let's see, in effect until, where's the time at? Until 8:30 p.m., so about another hour or so. We'll hop off of here, though. This doesn't appear to be very severe or very close to strong or severe. But do keep in mind, in the Detroit metro area, you could have pea-sized hail. And, of course, the next scan has a decent hail core forming. So go figure on that. This night just doesn't end for us, does it? All right, good news, though. The storm is exiting the St. Clair area here momentarily. St. Clair County is about to be all clear out of this. Attention now turns back to Wayne County. And let's hope that the next scan weakens a bit, because I need to hop out of here and do a stream for Indiana. But we're not going to do that until this storm is no longer posing a threat for severe weather. Pea-sized hail is the report and for the statement as well. Hamtramck, Grosse Pointe Park, Grosse Pointe Farms, Grosse Pointe Shores. I'm going to combine them all. Shores, Farms, and Point Park. All in the path of this. Detroit Metro, Detroit downtown, should I say, should miss this just to the north. Hamtramck, Highland Park, all these neighborhoods. Littlefield, Russell Woods, Petoskey, Otsego, Virginia Park, Petey Hill, all in the path of this cell. I appreciate you guys sticking with us. This has been a going on 2.5 hour stream here. I can officially say most of the thumb is clear of these. There's a tiny sliver just south of St. Clair, still getting some heavy rain, some hail. But St. Clair County, for 99% of you guys, you're all clear there. You are good to go to bed if you need to go to bed this early, but you're good to go there. We'll wait on the scan here, Wayne County, see what it's doing. They're running scans every... where's my time frame at? There it is at the top. So they're running scans every 2 minutes. So next scan should come in here in a few seconds. We'll see what it looks like. Let's get a baseline for this. Let's get the hail tracker. Yeah, the hail tracker is not really that impressive either. We'll wait for the next scan here. Okay, keeps the hail core small. If we stay on, it'd be about 5 or 10 more minutes before I can officially hop off. Yes, Mayor, Grosse Pointe all. I think we're good, truthfully. I said it on the last storm. I'll say it in this storm too. I think we're good. This looks a bit disorganized, personally. By the time it gets its act together, it'll be in Canada or over Lake St. Clair. So I'm contemplating rolling the outro again. Michelle says hail looks larger than pea size in Detroit. The pinpointed hail core appears to be just west of Hamtramck, heading into Hamtramck, and eventually toward Grosse Pointe Farms and the Coleman Airport. We are officially all clear in St. Clair County. Good news for you guys there. The statement expires in 7 minutes, but the storm has moved off into Ontario. You do have some lightning lingering back on the backside of this, so be mindful of that. Good idea to stay indoors at least 20 minutes until after the last thunder roll you hear. Your dense fog advisory is right here in these gray counties. You can barely make them out behind the background, but that's going to be in effect until morning. Expect there to be areas and pockets of dense fog across much of the state, really. Excuse me, throughout the next couple of hours. The Detroit airport, or the Detroit airport radar, DTW radar, not showing too much concern with these cells either. I will wait one more scan, and then I'll hop out of here. I think this stays pretty subdued. I'm not seeing anything indicating hail's that large. I'm in chat as well. I've seen a report that's P, a report that's dime or so, both of which are still below severe. So I think we're good. The storm should be exiting the state into Lake St. Clair in about 5 to 7 minutes or so. So, in the meantime, we are going to roll the outro a second time. I'll roll it maybe once or twice again, just to give myself extra time here. Otherwise, I'm going to roll the outro. Appreciate you guys watching. If it does go severe, knock on wood, we'll be back. In the meantime, we're going to roll. Thank you guys for watching.